Hi everybody, thank you guys all for being here today. Let's first give a round of applause just to the event and the mural and everybody involved. First up, we're gonna have our Mayor Joshua Garcia just say a few words about Holyoke and our project here.
What's up, everybody? I thought I saw Miguel Alce in the crowd. Where's Miguel Alce? Hey, Miguel! Miguel, I don't know if most of you know, but Miguel Alce is the first executive director of Nueva Esperanza. And also, the most recent executive director, Bianca. Where's Bianca? There she is. You start Monday.
4 generations.
And I point that out because, and I see Maria Salgado here who knows more about the history than what I can tell you. And I'm a very, very extremely proud product of the history between Miguel Alce. We also have Aaron Vega, who's the offspring of the late, great Carlos Vega. Orlando Isaza, we see you. So many people who work together with Betty to look out for our most vulnerable people in this community. Me being one of them. And here we are today honoring her. This mural, I have to say, is so fitting, Betty. Congratulations. You're not thanking me, we're thanking you for the work and the time that you put in to take care of our people in this neighborhood throughout the whole city, navigate the different social determinants of health disparities that exist, trying to really help close those gaps so that we're improving the quality of life for people who are struggling one way or another. So thank you for your time and for your service to this community. Congratulations with this amazing mural. We're so happy to be here and share this with you, and just to stand here in this moment in Holyoke's history. I feel like we're kind of turning the page because you've seen a whole different Holyoke, and a lot of what's happening is a result of the hard work of you and your colleagues that are here. And so we thank you for that, Betty, and it's up to us, Bianca, to take the baton and keep building and keep moving forward so that those that did the work before us doesn't go wasted. So thank you, Betty.
Thank you, Mayor. Next up, we'll have Aaron Vega, Director of Office of Planning and Economic Development, and he made this possible too.
Good afternoon, everybody. I like the mayor's style. I think I'll do that. That's good. Get up a little higher there. A couple of things to say. It's great to be here. It's really fitting to be all together in this space with everybody here today, to hold this space, to hold this honoring, and to recognize the past and the future all at once. And that's what this mural is about. And I think that's what murals in general are about. Public art brings people together to create spaces to come together, to reflect, to conversate, and to think about the future and where we've come from. So 3 quick things. I do want to thank Stephanie Colon, who is organizing today's event. Stephanie is our Master Motion Coordinator. She's the outward-facing person of our office right after me, and is making these great community connections, and this couldn't happen without her work. And then obviously, of course, to Britt and the whole team at Common Wealth Murals, thank you to all that you guys do. We are so fortunate in Holyoke to have these amazing murals throughout the city, right? There's these amazing murals that come from artists from all over the world. Literally, world-renowned artists have come and placed art here in South Holyoke and the Flats, and that is so important. It's so amazing. But this mural represents something more. Not only is it an amazing piece of art, but it's all of you, it's all of us that participated in the design, the painting, and the placement of this mural that makes it a community mural, a Commonwealth mural. And I think that's something so special and powerful that yes, this will be part of the mural tour, this will be part of all the things that people come and see, but to the community here, including this guy who you might look familiar, this is a community mural, and this is what's about, seeing ourselves in this mural, seeing our history, and seeing our future. So this is what's really important about this mural. We thank everybody. And the last thing I'll say, you know, Betty, I think you're the only person in the city that has a street and a mural named after you. So all of you doing community work, you've now raised the bar. Forget just naming getting a park or a street. Now you got to get two things. So your work's cut out for you. But a lot of people to thank because these murals don't just happen, right? Stephanie, Britt and her team, everyone in my office, everyone in the city. The funding, these don't happen. Everyone comes around and says, I want a mural, I want a mural. I want murals everywhere. Who's got an extra 20 grand in their back pocket? These things don't happen without funding, right? So it's amazing to bring this together, but it still takes money. So from my office, we want to thank the Mass Gaming Mitigation Fund. That's where we've been able to get some funds. You've seen the efforts. You've seen Explore Holyoke. You've seen Chiari out there doing social media for us. We've hired local. We've built this mural. We've built other murals. These are the things we're doing to make sure that people know that Holyoke's the place to come, enjoy, to see the history, to eat great food, and to be part of this great experience of Western Mass. And the last thing I'll say is, it is very fitting to have Betty's mural here. It's also interesting that she was late. Because I was going to say, someone had to keep an eye on my dad over here at the Carlos Vega Park, because he was always late, always getting into trouble. And it was people like Betty and Miguel and Orlando and Maria Salgado and so many others. Mary Burks and Jane Fry, both of whom are no longer with us, but two amazing women that did great things in our community. It's people like this that we honor today and inspire in the future. Thank you.
Next up, we will have Maria Salgado, and she is another one of our guardians of our community. And she was just gonna say a few words on Betty.
Jenny just asked, oh my God, what's his name? Jeez, what's his name? Oh my God, Juan, I'm having a moment. If he knew my nickname. So if you know me from my childhood, which by the way, I grew up in this neighborhood, then you know my nickname. So the mayor knows my nickname because his father told him. Anyways, my name is Maria Salgado Cartagena, and I'm honored today to have been asked to say a few words in this corner. Growth can be a painful thing, and yet it can also be celebratory. But today we are standing on a corner where properties were intentionally burned and people perish. And yet, here we are, new growth. Thanks to Holyoke Housing Authority, we are standing in the new development of South Holyoke, something that we should be incredibly proud of. I met Betty in 1992, and I had accepted a position as a community organizer, having no idea what the heck that was, with the Holyoke Community Partnership. 2 weeks later, I found out that I was pregnant. For some reason, I felt a lot of shame and didn't know exactly how I was going to tell her. She was my direct supervisor. And even more so, how was I going to tell Carlos Vega? He had been the man who I'd seen watch, as a little girl, watch registering people to vote. When I finally said, Betty, I have something to tell you. I'm pregnant. I don't know if I can do this job. She immediately looked at me and said, why? What stood out for me in that moment was the words that followed her. She said, girl, the days of being pregnant and barefooted are over. Women can work and be pregnant. It's okay. We will figure it out. We'll accommodate what you need. And there I was, off to be a community organizer. Today we are here to celebrate a woman who fought so hard since the early 1990s for Latinos to be seen, heard, and accepted as the fabric of the city. Today, Holyoke has elected its first mayor, Josh. I remind you all the time. I know your mom and your dad. And I just want to also, just a political plug. It is election year. Register to vote. Because those are the kind of things that people like Betty fought for. For the young folks, anybody that's a young leader, you stand on the shoulders of giants. These people fought. I'm a Gen Xer. I feel like I'm in between that generation and your generation. But we're tough as hell. So I want to just say, Betty has made such an impact in my life. Today I'm the Director of Community Engagement at Mount Holyoke College. Never in my wildest dreams a girl from South Holyoke, South Bridge Street, ever imagined being able to influence the next generation of leaders at an institution like Mount Holyoke? I am honored. Betty, thank you for all you have given. And I also just want to end with a little hope. Betty, my hope for you is that you get to retire. And that you seriously, yes, I know, but you came back. I want you to retire. I want you to enjoy the rest of your time on this earth. And remember that you have a whole community behind you.
Thank you, Maria. And with that beautiful introduction, I'm going to welcome Betty Medina to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you all for being here. Bienvenidos a todos y gracias para estar aquí con nosotros. For those of you who know me, I could go on forever and ever and ever, so I've written what I would like to share with you. It's truly an honor to stand with you today. First, I want to express my deepest gratitude to the Carlos Vega Foundation for funding this incredible project. Thank you to the individuals, whoever you are, who saw something in me and selected me for this honor. I deeply moved. To the team at the Common Wealth Murals, Britt and Kiali, thank you so much for your hard work and your collaboration. And wow, to this wonderful artist who traveled to, and mil gracias, ¿verdad? For the blessing this wall and our community with your extraordinary talent and vision. That doesn't come easy, and I'm grateful to you. This moment is especially meaningful to me because I raised my sons who are here with us today, right down the street on South Canal Street. They're here with me today, and thank you for your patience throughout the years with my late nights and all that pizza, and yeah, unfortunately, the McDonald's. Sorry about that. Along with some of our neighbors that are here with us today, who became lifelong friends, who represent the heart of this community. Although I'm being recognized today, the work I've done in South Holyoke, in the flats, I see Tyrone here. We worked hard, honey. We worked hard. In Churchill, Prospect Heights, as a community organizer, fighting for tenant rights, quality education, and if the wind stops, and of course, social justice, has never been a solo effort. I had the privilege of working alongside with incredible leaders, my dear friends, Carlos Vega, who has not left us, but I'm sure he's looking over us. Miguel Arce, who was here, and Orlando Isasa. I also see one of the Rebellos that are here, who worked hard to save the housing here in South Holyoke. Thank you. I am eternally grateful to you. Together we believed and still believe that housing and public education and public health are not privilege for a few, but a fundamental rights for all. As I look around and see the new homes rising from the ground, I see not just buildings, but the revitalization of a dream that we had, and we are now able to see it. A dream that took root years ago and has come to life thanks to the tireless efforts of so many in this city. As a founding member of the Holyoke Community Charter School, I recently watched a live video of the basketball team and the soccer team of the charter school who traveled all the way to Dubai to compete in the Sabas Global Games. Our youth, our Holyoke youth, competing on an international stage and winning those games. Woo! Charter school, Holyoke youth. Who would have imagined? But again, that was part of our vision, to create a world where the children of Holyoke could dream without limits and achieve beyond the borders. Some of the visionaries who helped build this foundation are no longer with us. I believe they are watching over us, proud of how far we've come. Others like myself, Miguel, Orlando, are still here, still doing that work. And my greatest hope is that this generation will rise to continue to fight, never to accept defeat, to carry forward the torch, and to protect and uplift the most valuable among us. I am honored and blessed to be able to lead a group of youth by Enlace de Familias. And youth, I see you eating that ice cream. Raise your hands and be proud. Woo-woo! Thank you for being here to celebrate not just a mural, but South Holyoke itself, its history, its resilience, and most importantly, its people. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. I'm just gonna give a few thank yous to everybody who made this possible. So thank you to our vendors, Jaylene, Roses of the Valley, for taking our photos today, to the emergency ice cream truck, to Johan from Holyoke Media, to Kiari from Explore Holyoke. They're the parts that make events like this possible. And also to you guys for making it out today. Again, you guys are the reason that things like this are possible. Having community behind us is super important, and making sure that we do things that are for the community, by the community. These projects wouldn't be possible without you guys, and this reflects that, and it reflects who Holyoke is. It showcases who we are, and the future and the present and the past. I also want to thank the committee who spent several hours on community engagement, planning, logistics, and really spearheaded this project. So we like to do things for and with our community members. So a special thank you to Ray, he's right over there, Jessica, Ed Case. They were all very instrumental to making this happen. We always had tons of questions and asked a lot of them. And this is all volunteer time from them. So also super important to give back to your community and volunteer for things like this. I also want to thank Antonio, the building owner, for giving us this wall to be able to do the project. It's in the perfect location. And he graciously let us do it. I mean, it's a beautiful mural on your building, so who would say no? But it's important, for building owners to engage in what the city's trying to do. And this project would not have been possible without Common Wealth Murals. They're amazing. This is one of hopefully many projects that we do together. One thing about Commonwealth Murals is that they are very community oriented. So like Aaron and the mayor mentioned, we did this with the community. We had community input sessions, and that's really all thanks to them and their process, and how they work with us and really bring our visions to life. So thank you to Britt, Talishka, Self, her team, Tyrone, and Yumi, who also assisted in painting the mural. Also to Kilia, she is the beautiful artist. She really brought our idea to life, and she was very patient with us. She also took the time to come to these community events and really get to know the people, and I personally think that it's reflected in what we see today. Just the detail to attention, and it's so vibrant and beautiful. And then I want to say thank you to Betty, because we got to use her face to do the mural, but she's an exceptional person, and she was the person who came up in the community input sessions of what we think of when we see Holyoke, who we think of. So it's really nice to honor her today. Jadiel Correro, I don't know where he's at. He's right over there. He's one of our youth. And I think, they're kind of like guardians of our community too. So it's really exciting to see people that we know and faces that we know on these murals. Also to the Office of Planning and
Sons and many people here helped to paint. If you helped to paint this mural, can you just raise your hands? Look at that, folks. That's the way we like to do things. So thank you, everyone, for your help, because murals are a lot of work. They're like the extreme sport of the art world. They just, if you drive by in the last week or two, you will have seen people for hours and hours and hours here. So I do want to give a shout out to, back there, to Yumi and Tyrone, our two assistant artists. Thank you guys so much. Talisha and Selv over there, who are the rest of the Commonwealth Murals crew. Nothing would happen without them. We also have some of my Commonwealth Murals board members here. I see Chris, Rich, and Bianca. Just raise your hands and say thank you to them for supporting and showing up for the community. And thank you to Holyoke. We love working here and we want to do it more. But now I have the total honor and pleasure of bringing my friend Kilia Llano, the amazing artist, the most renowned artist of the Dominican Republic, who we've stolen away and who has decided if she ever moves to the States, she's gonna live here in Holyoke. Kilia, we believe, doing a community mural, listening to the community and trying to express what they say is a sacred trust. And it's the artist who has to very carefully turn all that input into a visual and then work literally hours and hours and hours and hours to bring it to life. And Kilia just held the whole process so gracefully and gently and with such intention and talent that it was a pleasure to work with her. So Kilia, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm very happy to be here. This is the first time I've done community projects before, but this is the first time I really do a community mural, where this way of working with the community on the polytab and paint. That day that we all paint together, that I saw Betty painting with her sons, and I saw grandparents with grandchildren and children and friends, and I think even the meeting we did with the community before to when we were like designing the mural also, and also when every time people come to me and say, they remember like something in the mural that they wrote in the notes the day we did the community meeting. All of that, I think, makes this mural very special. Not only to me, but I think to everybody. And as Britt says, if I ever come to the US, I'm gonna move to South Holyoke. Because South Holyoke is the only place that I don't feel like an outsider. Like I really feel welcome. Yes. So thank you so much for welcoming me here with so much love. Thank you.
Now the moment you've all been waiting for, besides ice cream and hearing from Betty. We're gonna cut the ribbon. If you were on the Commonwealth Murals team, the assistant artists, Commonwealth Murals board, but anybody out there who helped with this mural, please come and stand with us behind the ribbon. I see you. You need to come. Don't be shy. We all did it together, so please come on up.
Hi, welcome. You haven't met. I'm Betty.
We'll do this later, but I'm really happy to meet you.
We're gonna hold it. We're gonna hold
All
it.
right, you guys have to count down. 3, 2, 1. So Betty.
Hold it tight.
So somebody count down.
What do we do?
3,
3,
2,
Oh my God.